Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today we're going to take a look at the 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLS 580 4MATIC. I've borrowed this model from my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Shreveport, and as you can see on the screen right now, I'm giving you a screenshot of what they have on the website, including the price of this model in case you want to know. And if you want to know more, something maybe I don't cover in the video today, just to keep it from being too long, make sure to check out the description of this video. There will be a link to this GLS 580, and as long as it's in inventory, you can click on that and go learn a little bit more. Maybe you can go buy it. If you do, tell them that Tom from Vehicle Visionary sent you. Now, if you saw my video that I did recently on the GLS 600 Maybach, well, here, this is the same platform that is built off of, with a few differences, this being the 3-row model, of course, because the middle row seats in this one are moved further back without that third row in the Maybach, and that gives you a lot of options there. There's a partition to cut down on road noise, but the road noise in the 580 is not bad at all, as you'll find out on our test drive in just a little while. That also means that you don't have that really cool touchpad that the 600 has, where you can control so many things throughout the vehicle, everything that you can control through the MBUX system, that 12.3-inch touchscreen in the front. You can also control from that touchpad in the rear. That is a really cool feature, but not here. But that also means the price tag isn't quite as high, but you still get a tremendous luxury SUV that has quite a bit of performance under the hood, as we'll talk about in just a minute. As we begin our exterior tour, I want to list a partial list of the safety features that you can expect to find with the GLS 580 on the screen. And like I said, that link down in the description of the video to the Mercedes-Benz of Shreveport website will give you a full list, but to keep that from being too long, I won't put all that information on the screen. But part of that is the Intelligent Assist LED headlights that you have right here. And you do have a nice look here with the front grille. Of course, this is not the AMG model, so you don't have that Pan Americana grille, but still a very nice, really luxurious looking grille here. And while these pieces right here are plastic, they still look very nice, have that chrome finish on them, or at least the look of chrome. Large, iconic Mercedes-Benz logo right here. But one thing that I've heard a lot of people talk about, how they have the vents right here, or at least the faux vents. It looks like a vent, but believe it or not, that actually is functional in aiding the aerodynamics of the vehicle. How exactly does that work? Well, the wind, as you drive down the road, is going to, of course, hit the front end, and it's going to be channeled right here to the side, to the left on this side, of course, right on the other. And there's an air curtain right here that is actually meant to aid in helping the aerodynamics of the vehicle and reducing drag, which ultimately means better gas mileage. Speaking of that, let's open the hood and take a look at what is going to be getting you down the road in this model. Like I said, this is the same platform that the GLS 600 is built on, so it's the same motor that's under the hood, whether it's the 580 or the 600. It's the 4-liter bi-turbo V8. Now, the GLS 600 Maybach puts out 550 horsepower, which obviously with a different tune-up, you could actually put that much horsepower out with this engine. In this case, it's not shy on horsepower at 483. The torque comes in at 516 pound-feet of torque. It's all put to the ground through the 4MATIC system via a 9-speed automatic transmission. And depending on how you drive, if you don't drive like I do and enjoy dropping the hammer on a regular basis, you might achieve the estimated gas mileage of 16 miles per gallon in the city and 21 out on the highway. Okay guys, as I open the rear liftgate, that power rear liftgate, you're going to notice I have all of the seats down back here. I'll put the numbers on the screen. As far as the different variations of cargo space, depending on if you have the middle and the rear seats in their upright position or one or both folded down as I do right now. And the cool thing about it is that you can actually just pull a couple of buttons here, push a couple of buttons depending on what you want to do to raise and or lower these seats. And I'm going to raise everything back up real quick. Let's get that going there. And you're going to notice the cargo cover right here. That cargo cover, while it's back here in a very small area, there's actually another position you can use further forward when you lower these rear seats and put that down and move it forward depending on what your situation and or desires are. And one of the other switches back here is to raise and lower the height of the vehicle that could actually make it very easy to load and unload cargo back here. Depending on a person's height, well, that could be very helpful. Or if you have something that's heavy enough and you just want to lower it down to make it easier to get something out, that's going to be very helpful. You do have a digital dual zone climate control here, dual zone in the front. That's quad zone climate control here in the GLS 580. And if they want a little more privacy back here, or maybe it's just a super hot day, maybe a little more shade right here, the control for the power windows doubles to allow for the power window shades to go up, as you can see right there. Of course, plenty of connectivity in the middle and rear seats. And if you want to, of course, you can recline these seats back just a little bit. It doesn't go back super far. That's as far as it goes right there. But you know what? I could probably take a nap right now, but I won't do that so that you don't have to watch me sleeping. How many of you would watch the video that long? Probably not a single one, although that would be interesting. Sleep TV on YouTube. No, we're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is give you a quick view of the panoramic sunroof from the rear seats, which, by the way, the kids will be happy back there. Not as much leg room as you have here for the middle row seats, and when it comes to getting in and out of the rear seats. There is a button here on the passenger side middle row seat that you can use to bring the seat forward and then bring it back into its position. Everything is done via that button right there. Nothing has to be done manually. It's quite helpful and quite useful. I'm going to lower that back down, which, by the way, you got to lower that shade back down before you can actually lower the window itself, as you can see. And here in the front seat, you're going to find something that you won't find in every single vehicle. You kind of get what you pay for in this respect with this GLS 580, in that you have the same functionality on the passenger side door with the seat, ventilated, heated seats, fully adjustable power seats, and 3 different seat memory settings. You're going to have that on both the driver and passenger seats. Not something you see in every single vehicle. Very nice leather wrapped steering wheel, very comfortable. Steering wheel mounted controls. You can control everything, change a lot of settings, go through a lot of information on the dashboard. You have 2 12.3-inch screens here. The right-hand side screen or the center screen, of course, being the MBUX system. That is a touch screen, something a lot of you are going to be very happy about, because I know you didn't like not having that in previous generations of the Mercedes-Benz vehicles that we've looked at in the past. But you still have the trackpad right here if you wish to use that same functionality right there, instead of touching the screen and using your finger. But depending on what you want to do, you've got a lot of great features here. And here is a little hack for you if you don't already know about this. Let's say you buy one of these brand new Mercedes vehicles, a 21 GLS 580 or whatever the case may be, and you think to yourself, well, how does this particular or that particular function operate? You have a question about something and you just don't know how to make it work or what it actually does. When you go into your owner's manual, it's going to be under the info icon here. You push on that, you're going to go down to animations in the owner's manual, and it's going to give you an animated tutorial on whatever it is you want to know about. That is very helpful. I don't mind you watching my videos to learn about that if I have a tutorial on that, but if you can't find it there, or maybe you don't have time to watch, whatever the case may be, no internet connection, I don't know, could be a lot of different things. It's all right here within the owner's manual. And right next to that, comfort. That's going to allow you to go through a lot of different features depending on how you feel or what you just desire to experience with these massage seats. They are going to give you different types of massages, so you can actually get that taken care of for your back, for your shoulders, whatever you want to do. And by the way, if you don't like the way the instrument cluster looks, you have multiple options, and I'll just change that one time for you. But you can go through a lot of different options there and change different things, how it looks, how it works, and not just those individual settings, but you can go on each, the speedometer side or the tachometer side, and make changes there as well. You can bring up navigation and use that across the entire dash area right there. Very useful, very helpful, very convenient. Like I said, you have dual zone climate control here as well. Your drink holders, wireless charging, all the different features and functions here around the trackpad. You've got park assist, active park assist. If you've got to get into a really tight spot and maybe you just don't want to try yourself, let the vehicle do it for you. It's very easy to use. I do have a tutorial on that, by the way. And moving back right here behind the rest for your wrist, that makes it easier to operate that trackpad. You can notice another option here, another feature that allows you to raise and lower the vehicle. And those Bombay doors right there, of course, you've got some more connectivity inside and some space for storing whatever it is you may want to store there. So what about the driving experience? Well, it's what you would likely expect. Very comfortable, very enjoyable. And while you don't have the almost complete lack of road noise that you would have in the GLS 600 Maybach, it's not far from it here in the 580. And so it's a very enjoyable ride, very comfortable. The seats themselves, of course, being super comfortable, and depending on what you want to do, you can get a massage, you can turn on the heated and or ventilated option. Leather wrapped steering wheel is nice and comfortable. Everything is nice and responsive, and I like the fact that even though you have an ultra luxurious SUV here, it still has plenty of get up and go when you want to get up and go, and as you can hear right there, it'll get up and go. It doesn't have the exhaust note of an AMG, but at the same time, it does give you a decent little exhaust note when you drop the hammer to the floor, if you ever want to do that. And of course, you're going to find a great balance of luxury, performance, and technology, especially because of that MBUX system that is interactive. By the way, you could ask a lot of questions such as this, for example. Hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
How much gas do I have left?
You can still drive 103 miles.
Now, if you're interested in knowing what questions you can ask her, and I won't say her name right now because she'll answer when we don't need her to, but you can say, what questions can I ask you? And you'll actually get a pretty long answer. I'm not going to let that whole thing play here because it's about a minute or so in length, if I remember correctly. I did that in a previous video one time, but it is something that's there, that's available if you want to try that out. And so let's get out here and just do a quick little acceleration test. We got a little more room if you ever want to step on it. Hopefully you can pick that up off of my lapel mic nicely as far as the exhaust note goes. Not as deep and throaty as, like I say, the AMG models, but it's not lacking in that area either. So you also have, I know you probably can't see this from your vantage point up there, but we do have a nice heads-up display here. The speed limit right next to that, traffic sign recognition, and also if you ever start to get out of your lane, you're going to actually see an image of the vehicle itself showing you how close you are to going over the center line or maybe running off the road, whatever the case is, depending on what you have to deal with. So it's going to kind of give you a reference point as to where you are. Now overall, what about the ride quality? Well, I am not in comfort mode. But if I were, I guarantee you, it would be a super smooth ride, and it's not far from being exactly that right now, being that I am in sport mode. But like I said, through Dynamic Select, you can choose whatever you want as far as those different features go. Now I'm turning back and going back to the dealership because of the fact this is the only one of these models they have in inventory at Mercedes-Benz of Shreveport. But ultimately, I have to say, it is a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. The right technology, the right features, everything is easy to get to and use. And if you're somebody who's looking at stepping into a vehicle like this, and maybe it's been 15 or 20 years or more since you have had a brand new vehicle, don't be scared away by the technology. It's not hard to learn, not only through your salesman at the dealership, a lot of tutorials on YouTube. I have several of my own, and there's others out there that are really good as well. But also, like I said and showed you earlier, you've got those animations within the owner's manual that will allow you to learn pretty much anything you want to right there on the screen, right in front of you. You can watch that as many times as you want to. And yeah, you have all the typical features such as navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Everything is there. So like I said earlier, tell me down in the comments, do you think this is the ultimate 3-row luxury SUV? Be curious to know what your thoughts are and why you give the answer you do. Got to thank my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Shreveport for loaning me this model for the day, and all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch. Thank you for giving me the chance to give you a vision for your next vehicle. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.